tender process can vary in length. The typical tender process is around 4 weeks from contract release to contract submission. During that time period, you'll want to take a note of the deadline and you'll want to take a note of the date for clarification questions. So you can read the documents and you can ask some questions, but there'll be a deadline to asking questions, which is usually a week or two before the final submission deadline. Once you've submitted your tender, there's typically around anything from a few weeks to a month before you get the tender results. Everyone hears at exactly the same time their tender results, whether they're successful or unsuccessful. You'll get a letter which will give you your scores, and if you haven't won, it'll give you the scores of the winning bidder. If you have won, it sometimes gives you some scores of people who are a few paces behind you. And that's really useful information either way, because it shows you how you've performed in each part of the tender submission. And you can use that for future performance improvements. Even if you are winning, there's always going to be someone chasing you down. You've always got to try and gather those extra few points if you can. Once you have your contract award, there's typically an Alcatel period, which is a standstill period. This is a legal time frame where if you've got any concerns about the process or anyone else has some concerns about the process, they can appeal against the decision. Once that time period is ended, the contract can then be awarded and signed. From signing contract to delivery can be anything from 1 day to a number of months, depending upon the complexity of the service and the implementation requirements. In every case, those timelines will be laid out in the tender document so they're really clear to see.